Episode 19, Theory of Multiple Intelligence and the Animal School Story.
Hello everyone. In the last episode, we were discussing about the theory of multiple intelligence and how your talent has to do with the area in which you are very strong. I want to give a few more examples of what does it mean to be talented. See, all of us have something basically special in all of us. We are not produced equally. We are not products of mass production. We are unique in ourselves. When I say this, I recall a story which I heard somewhere. There was an animal school in a forest, and all the animals decided one day that they should get ready to manage the challenges of change that's going to face them in future. So they decided that each of these animals will go through a test which will contain 4 papers, and the 4 papers were running, climbing, swimming and flying. All the animals have to take all the tests. But then they decided that each animal will be tested on how proficient are they in terms of multidisciplinary skill. The turn of the duck came first, and the duck was asked to fly or run. You know, ducks are very good in swimming. The duck tried their best to fly, and they tried their best to run, and ducks failed. Then came rabbit. You know, rabbits are good in running, but then they were not allowed to take a test in running, but they were allowed to take a test only in swimming. You know, obviously what would have happened? The rabbits became very dejected and disappointed and destroyed their personality. And then the squirrel came. You all know that squirrels are excellent in climbing trees, but then they were told they cannot climb and they will be tested on how proficient are they in flying. The squirrels were asked to fly from one tree to another tree. In the process, they fell down, broke their bones, and some also died. Then came the eagles, the king of the skies. You know, the eagles soar very high. But then they were told, no, you cannot fly. You will be tested on how good are you in swimming. Eagles tried their best, but ultimately they failed. The result was everyone came out very average, and all of them were asked to take improvement tuition. The duck was asked to go for a tuition where he will learn flying and running. A rabbit was asked to take a tuition on swimming. A squirrel was asked to take a tuition on flying. And eagles were asked to take a tuition in swimming. And ultimately all the animals ended up as a big failure. The moral of the story is we should know what are our core competency and what are our core skills, what are our innate talents. Identify and then build on that. You have a high probability of success. You can log on to the website and key in multiple intelligence, and you will come across a lot of softwares available, lot of on-site tests available. You can key in the data and you will know which is your strength. You can build on the talent. The question is, how do you use your talent? Next comes the platform. The purpose of your talent is to give it a platform. If you cannot showcase your talent on a platform, then it is as good as not having a talent. So what happens in an employment interview? You send your biodata where you mention about what's your talent. Then obviously if the interviewer is convinced to get a job, the moment you get a job, you have a platform for a talent. The job of the company ends there. In my seminars and personal counseling, I distinguish between a job and a career. A job is what you get for your qualification, but a career is what you make out from the job. It is up to you to decide what should be the scope and size of a platform. Supposing I am talented in playing chess, I can decide to play chess with one of you and win, which means my platform is very, very small. Or I can decide to play chess and win everybody maybe in my department. That means my platform is much larger. Or I can decide to be the chess master in a country. Or I can decide to become the world champion. So, from winning a game of chess against one person and to become a world champion, the platform becomes larger and larger and larger. Who should decide this? I should decide. In fact, in my seminars, I talk about 3 words: I, me, myself, I, me, myself, I, me, myself. Which means I need to focus on myself. What are my talents? How am I going to use my talent in the platform? It is for me to decide. So, any amount of goal setting exercise done by a company in which I am not involved, or a target is given to me, I don't own it, I am not going to achieve it with full enthusiasm. This is the difference between a strong personality and a weak personality. And there is no compulsion. Everybody need not become the managing director of a company. Everybody need not become a world-class cricketer. It is up to us to decide the size and the scope of the platform. Now, once having decided, this should be my goal, this should be my size of the platform, then comes knowledge acquisition portfolio. I cannot aim to be a bigger player with inadequate knowledge. The role that I play and the scope of my role will depend to a great extent on the level of knowledge I have. Therefore, the responsibility for knowledge acquisition is mine. So nobody can force me to acquire knowledge. It is up to me to evaluate, will I be able to succeed in this platform, in this role, with this knowledge, or should I acquire more knowledge? We'll discuss about the skill, focus, and the behavior in the next episode.
கற்க நீ வா, கல்வியோடு கலைகள் அனைத்தும் எழிலாய் கற்க நீ வா. ABS விண்ணை தோட தன்னை தரும் ABS, வெற்றி தரும் மார்க்கம் ABS, சுற்றும் உலகின் உச்சம் காட்டும் ABS வித்யாலயா.
தரமான மெட்ரிக் பாடத்திட்டத்துடன் ABS வித்யாலயா திருவள்ளூர்.
வித்யா